Welcome to the Ludus Colony. I'm Colonel Mustard. We are playing the Stanley Parable, and I did promise the game I would come back, so here I am. What the time again? What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Well, of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. You know how I know you don't work for Google? And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. Damn straight. You like being alone, don't you? It's alright. That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. You're trying to bait me into doing at least one more go, aren't you? Okay. So, last time the game turned into a game, which turned into a game. All very meta. Now, I did say I wasn't going to sit here and try and find every single ending because, quite honestly, I've already got more mileage out of this than I was expecting. Actually, you know what? Something's just occurred to me. Yeah, I can always come back to it another time if I find out there's something I really should experience, but I do definitely want to explore at least two more possibilities, just based on choices I haven't made in previous attempts. I say two. It's just occurred to me because from when I was in the broom cupboard and I closed the door from inside, what happens if I...
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay, that did do something. Stanley must have an iron bladder. Okay, right, that wasn't one of the things I was intending to do.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
So,
perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Onwards to the decision room. New content. Oh, bloody hell. This...
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I will never finish this game. We're on the move. It's a runaway train. Can't be stopped.
Hello,
Game Factory.
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Dark Ride, that's the name I was trying to think of. I'm on a Dark Ride.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Yeah, because I'm playing... I didn't know this was the Ultra Deluxe version until I started it. So I don't actually know of the stuff I've done what was there in the original game and what's been added since. This is all just completely new to me.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
This new content is amazing.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Content. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, it works. Finally. Am I going to do all the jumps? That's the question. Yeah, fuck it. Tempted just to wander off out the back door when I get to one jump remaining, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do all the jumps. No jumps remaining. There we go. That's. I've been trying this entire game to jump and it's not been working. So I'm glad I finally got to do it. That brings me joy.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new
in some games,
then
yes.
I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
You've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Yes, well, you
It's my
should.
fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Right, well, oh, hold on. No, hold on. Something is awry. This is not what I meant to see when I come out of my office. That's what I meant to see when I come out of my office.
Psst.
Oh,
Stanley,
bloody...
come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Stop making me make choices. Go on, I'm going in the vent. Right, well, this is a shaft of no return.
Okay, remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be. Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Because no first-person game would be complete without a segment in some unrealistically large and clean air ducts. And strong. If there's a sewer level somewhere in here, then they've ticked all the boxes. Got a full bingo card. Oh, where are we now? Ooh.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Nice, I see what they've done there. Okay, well, some of that is stuff. If this is stuff from the original version, some of it I've covered. The mind control room. By the narrator. The memory zone temp. Okay. $1. I'm in another museum. Don't play for 5 years. Very nice, very nice. 50% off designer hat, but a small creature owns the other half. Oh, Stanley, what's happened? Oh. Little Stanley. Little Stanley is apparently a hamster.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Oh, there's more. Oh, there's... Okay, can't go into memory zone maintenance. That's Portal. There is a slightly Portal-esque vibe to this, particularly the last time in the game testing area. I did feel feel like the narrator was having a word in my shell-like. I apologise. That was terrible. The original remake. This is, once again, a temporary diversion. What I thought would be a brief diversion has ended up being quite lengthy. This was meant to be the last time. Gosh darn it. People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
I have always been someone who wants to go the wrong way first in games. Same. When I sense the game is trying to usher me down a particular path to get me to run from left to right or maybe to charge straight ahead, I need to satisfy my instinct to go against the grain, to explore, to see what the designers have put back the other way. Sometimes I find a one-up or a collectible stashed away to reward me for my intrepid behaviour. At other times my explorations are rewarded only by the crushing disappointment of running up against an invisible wall. Whatever I find or don't find, my action is a manifestation of my desire to exert some independence, to make my own choices within a system that severely limits my options and encourages certain specific behaviours. See, I do the same thing, but not for the same reason. As previously expressed several times during this game, I don't particularly like having choices in games, but if you give me choices, I will deliberately pick the wrong one, because maybe there's some interesting secret or something down that way, or I don't know. I don't know why. Why am I like this? Nobody knows. Right, now where the fuck am I going? The serious room. I cannot get into the serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Maintenance.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of
Steam
reviews
reviews.
on Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
It's a dangerous place.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I tried to run the game on a computer that couldn't run it. It didn't work. 1 star.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humour and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
There's a certain amount of self-congratulation going on here, but never mind. A review that I can't read.
Okay,
Now where am I
let's see
going?
what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Nope, another review.
What's this one got to say?
9.8 hours on record, not recommended.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
To be honest, on the restarts, a skip button would be quite handy. Obviously, I have to check there's nothing behind this screen. Nope, we're all good.
And here it is.
Go
ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue. And it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once. So now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. Got the logic of elimination working backwards. The deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture.
I do wonder how long this goes on.
Nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say...
I feel like there's...
The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is. So on
okay,
and so forth,
I see. I see.
We all until the end of time, at which time everything all...
Very well.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being,
Okay,
then by
yeah.
making
I'm
no choice
skipping.
and saying nothing, are you not simply... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led
Where
into this
did the
room?
door go?
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
That is an issue.
Angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Yeah, plant's fucked.
I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
The clock has stopped.
Keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with.
Let's not. Is the narrator dead? The clock's fallen off the wall. Is the building on fire?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, enter.
Oh. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
The narrator
End is never the end, is never the
has run mad.
the end, is
And
never
that pipe
the
is leaking.
end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the.
How many times can I press this button? At which point does Stanley just expire? Well, that's a thing that's happened. Also, what is Stanley eating? And where is he going to the toilet? Nope. Sun's out. Time is definitely passing. That's a chair. I didn't think that was there before. Yeah, probably was. Okay. Slightly concerning noises. Oh dear. The skip button has collapsed. Oh. But the wall is open. Oh dear. Well, this hasn't gone very well. Hasn't gone very well at all. What's that? Around the back of the building. Oh, it's just one of these thingies, isn't it? Yeah. I cannot climb up the building. Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah, okay. Right, I'm not gonna do anything. I see. Right, well, I started this by saying I had 2 things I wanted to do, and then that would probably be it on the last video. I didn't bloody get to do them because I hung the shiny bait of new content in front of me. So, alright, I suppose there's one more video in this after all. Yeah. Come back for that. Bye for now.